Why don't you tell us why we're here?
So I wanted a place that I can answer all of your questions. My inbox and DMs are full of questions. And instead of answering them periodically on all these different platforms, I thought I would be able to answer your best questions in one place. I thought I would start like an Olivia After Hours series where I can answer all your Q&As. So, welcome to Olivia After Dark.
All right, Olivia, we are going to start off nice and slow here, very easy, and get to know you. First, and one of the biggest questions that you get, are you a real nurse?
I am, yeah. So, I graduated in 2014 and I graduated with a bachelor's degree and I took my NCLEX and I am a registered nurse. I am still actively registered with the state. So, yeah, I'm a registered nurse.
Olivia, how old are you?
I just turned 35.
Where are you from?
I'm from New Jersey. I'm from the South, so South Jersey. I live in a very isolated area, um, cornfields, livestock. I know when people think New Jersey, they think like New York, and we are more Philadelphia based. I think I have a Philadelphia dialect, a lot of people tell me. But yeah, I am in the middle of nowhere in the country, but I am in New Jersey, so East Coast.
Being that you work in such a public and big setting, has anybody ever recognized you?
So there's this look that I get from people when they do recognize me. Um, I always have a feeling first that they know me maybe from like YouTube or TikTok or Instagram. So they have this look followed by this smirk and sometimes they'll ask me like an open-ended question or I get all the time like I recognize you from somewhere and I will never be like, oh yeah, it's my Instagram or here, do you follow me on TikTok? But yeah, I have had people say that they recognize me and I can always tell when I actually run into a fan in the hospital.
What made you start on your spicy pages?
So in 2020, I was working in the cardiac step down unit during COVID. I don't have to sit here and explain how stressful COVID was to anybody. I think we all experienced it on different levels. And I realized very quickly how, I guess the word is trapped. I felt really grateful that I had this career but I felt equally trapped in this career and I had a shift during COVID and I didn't feel like spending the next 35 years possibly doing this. We didn't know how long COVID was going to last. And I read an article. There was this mom who I believe the headline had read, I'm not going to say the word, but mom makes 1 mil taking pictures or something like that. And I remember I actually read it during my shift. It was like we had some downtime and I think I was scrolling and I came across an article and I read it. And then I couldn't get the article off my mind. And then I kept thinking, well, I mean, of course you think like, what's a few pictures? A few pictures here and there. And then like maybe you could pay for groceries. And there were so many different reasons why I stepped into this. It was COVID. It was my family situation at home. It was a little bit of financial. And then there was almost this like That sounds amazing. And I have always been a rule follower. I feel like I've spent my entire life playing by the rules, doing what you're supposed to do, keep your head down. And I feel like for the first time wanted to just do something really wild and free. And I certainly did. So I thought, what the hell? Let's just try this. This could pay for groceries. And it ended up exploding in a matter of a few weeks.
You get a lot of questions about the markings on your arm. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
I get so many comments about the pigmentation on my arm. I feel like this is all that you can see. So I have vitiligo. I have vitiligo on multiple spots around my body. It's an autoimmune disease, and basically it's genetic, and it comes up whenever. So mine started when I was 2. Some people don't lose melanin until they are in their 50s. And I started to lose color in my skin. It's very stable now, so I don't continue to lose color, but it can also start back up at any time. It's called vitiligo. I believe 1% of the population has it, and I think it's really unique, and I think it kind of makes me different, and I've grown to love how different it makes me look. Although the comments are absolutely unhinged. I can't even name all of them, but they are wild. So I have it that goes up my arm, and it goes across my chest, and I have a little bit on my hips. I have some behind my knees, which is faded for the most part, but right now I'm rather pale. So in the summer, you will see the vitiligo is like white compared to my tan skin, but it's vitiligo.
Rumor has it that you were fired from your job. Is that true?
That is true. Um, I think in a later date, I would love to tell you the absolute scandal behind that story. However, the brief answer is yes, I did get fired. Yes, I got pulled down to HR. I was working during the hospital, and I actually came into my shift, and I was in the middle of a patient. I'll never forget it. I was in the ICU in the middle of taking care of a patient when I got pulled down to HR. Blindsided, because I lived in a world where nobody would know, but it very quickly got out of hand. I didn't realize that I would blow up quite like I did. There were a lot of people in the hospital at the time who knew what I did, and it seemed to be okay. I had people higher up than me that knew and gave me like a green light. And then all of a sudden, a few weeks later, HR did pull me down, and they didn't show me any evidence. But again, when I was at the hospital, I was a nurse. And when I was outside of the hospital, I thought I was able to do anything that I wanted. Yeah, so I did. I got fired, and they just basically said, I understand that the hospital brand can't work with my brand any longer. These two do not go together. I completely understand it. And yeah, I was fired.
What is your favorite part of content creation?
I think coming up with new content, coming up with new series, and really being able, it gives me this creative outlet to be like as creative as I want to be. Like the sky is the limit. So I will sit there and take a situation that really happened to me in the hospital, and then I will maybe exaggerate it a little bit, or maybe I'll just do it exactly how it happened. And we're able to take that real life situation that could be possible and almost elevate it to a fantasy, and we marry them, and it's amazing. It's the most fun part of my day. I love content creating. I love making new series, and I love making content that is both a little bit cheeky and a really cool fantasy, but almost doing it in like a sweet, nurturing way, like blurring that line. And it is so tricky to do. And I love making new forms of content every day.
Are you single?
I am not single. I am married. My wedding ring is in all my videos. I don't take off my wedding ring to hide it. I am married, going on 10 years. 10 years married. Yep. Not single.
Are you a true redhead?
I am not. No, I'm more of like a mousy light brown color. And I don't know if anybody's been following me like 5 years ago, but I started out blonde and I wanted to do a full transformation. And I found this cowboy copper inspiration, and I've got nothing but amazing compliments on my color hair that goes with my green eyes, and it is staying. So, no, not a true redhead. The carpet does not match the drapes.
Besides all of the questions that you get in your comments, how do you deal with any of the hate that comes through?
So, that's a good question. 5 years ago, I believe that I read every single comment and I really took it in and I took it to heart. And it was really, really hard to get through at first because I was like completely picked apart. I was picked apart as a person. I was picked apart physically, picked apart from my character. And then, I think after a while, I was like, I can't live like this. Number one thing I tell everybody, stay out of the comments. I completely stay out of the comments. I don't read comments. In my life, sometimes I get a little bit of hate, and now I kind of either ignore it, and I find that to be a really fun game because the more you ignore it, the more that they write, and it seems to get them angrier and angrier, and they either leave or they stop. And you don't even have to address it. So I find it to be like a little bit of a game. Sometimes when I know that they're being kind of shitty, I will read it. I'll read it wrong. Like they'll be like something, something, OF, and I'll read it as like of, and it makes them super irritated and angry. And they just typically give up. I feel like you have to have really thick skin to be in front of the camera on social media. And you also have to have the thickest skin to be in this side of the world as well, and in what I do for a living. People are going to be picking you apart, and they're going to be amplifying their own insecurities onto you. It doesn't hurt anymore. I kind of just let it roll off my back. It's been the healthiest thing that I've been able to accomplish. And you don't let them penetrate.
Olivia, we notice once in a while you do post videos on social media with another individual. Is that hired help? Who is that?
It's a little bit of everything. So if you pay close attention in my videos, sometimes the voice changes. So it's not always the same person, which is something I won't tell you specifically who it is. I always get like, is it your husband? Is it your assistant? Is it your patient? That's probably the biggest question I get. Pay attention to a lot of the reels and a lot of the content. The voice changes a lot. The setting changes a lot. So you really never know who is behind the camera. So as much as I can't answer that question, it's a little bit of everybody. But I like to keep some secrets to myself.
Olivia, we have a lot more questions to go through, but I think we're going to wrap it up for now. Anything you want to tell your fans, something to look forward to, how often you're going to put these out?
So many things to look forward to. The thing with my brand and the kind of creator I am, I wish I could show you my whiteboard. I have a list of things that I can't wait to do next. I am going to be branching out into several new series. I don't want to disclose them now because it does take me a little while to get those done. So I have about 5 new series that I'm going to launch, and I think you guys are going to really enjoy something that like nobody else is doing. Another thing is that I am starting to, I did share with you guys my glass toys, and I am now launching some videos with those specific luxury glass toys for you guys to enjoy. I know you've been waiting a really long time for those. So those are coming out currently. So I would love to do more of these Olivia After Dark Q&As. So make sure you send in your questions to me. You can send them in to me on Instagram. So when I put a Q&A on my story, that's when I'm going to let you know that I'm going to be doing another Olivia After Dark series soon and send in all your Q&As. The other place that you can send them to me is right in my DMs on my websites. You're more than welcome to send me a question there if you want me to answer it on this Q&A. So let me know what questions you have for me, and also let me know what color scrubs that you would like me to wear on my next Q&A. So make sure that you leave those in the comments below. Before we go, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel at Olivia James, as well as hit the notification bell so that you always get notifications each time I go live. I go live multiple times a week, and I don't want you to miss it. Thank you guys for watching. Until next time.